Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. Hey there. If intense, unforgettable stories are your thing, you're exactly where you need to be. Be sure to tap that subscribe button and become part of our growing storytelling circle. Now let's begin. I didn't cry when my husband pulled out of the driveway. That should have terrified me. I stood on the porch, barefoot against the icy planks, wrapping my hands around the coffee mug he'd made for me. Habit, muscle memory, love. His car was already disappearing when it hit me. I hadn't really said goodbye. Just a flat, automatic, drive safe. We weren't supposed to be ending things. We were only taking space. Yet as his taillights vanished, my chest stayed quiet. No pain. No panic. That's when I should have known something inside me had already shut down. My name is Allison. I married Grant 7 years ago. From the outside, we were flawless, college sweethearts, shared jokes, matching movie taste. Life with him was calm, secure, reliable. Too reliable, maybe. Too quiet. I think that's where the crack first formed. I never planned to fall for someone else. But life rarely asks before it rearranges everything. His name was Derek. He was the new art director at the marketing firm where I worked. Messy, late, chaotic, and brilliant. While I lived in spreadsheets and deadlines, he lived in ideas. And he saw me. Not just the version of me that paid bills and showed up on time, but the woman underneath. At first, it felt harmless. Playful teasing. Lunches that ran long. Jokes no one else understood. Nothing physical. Nothing obvious. But I started trying again. Lipstick before work, extra coffee runs, scrolling through his social media late at night like I was 20 instead of married. Then came the night everything tipped. We were the last two in the office, rain streaking the windows as thunder rolled outside. He talked about his divorce, how empty it left him, how invisible he'd felt. I told him about Grant, about how my life felt like a rerun, how I sometimes wanted to break something just to feel alive again. When he kissed me, it wasn't desperate or rushed. It was soft, careful. And I didn't stop it. I didn't even pause. That single kiss unraveled into secret drives, cheap motels, erased messages, and a double life I pretended was temporary. I told myself I was confused, that I was comparing feelings, that I was searching for clarity. That was a lie. I knew exactly what I was doing. I was cheating. I was choosing. And I wasn't choosing my husband. Grant felt the shift. He noticed the distance and responded with effort. Flowers on random days, surprise dinners, real questions about my life. But it felt like watching someone try to save a story I'd already closed. One night, he took my hand and said, "I don't know what's wrong, but I'm not giving up on us. Let's take a few days apart and think." I agreed, not because I wanted to save us, but because I didn't have the courage to end it. So when he packed a small bag and hugged me goodbye, I barely reacted. My mind was already checking Derek's availability. But when Grant left, freedom didn't arrive. Relief didn't either. Just emptiness. Derek texted, "My place tonight?" I typed yes, then stared at the screen like it had accused me of something. That night was no different. Same thrill, same secrecy. But for the first time, I noticed what was missing. He didn't ask about my day. He didn't remember the small things. My favorite wine, my cat's name, how I took my coffee. Everything with him was about escape. Never about real life. While he slept, I slipped out of bed, sat alone in his kitchen, and cried. In the morning, I didn't text him. I didn't even go home. I just drove. I ended up at a park Grant and I used to visit when we were newly married. Sandwiches, card games, laughter stretched across the grass. Sitting there, I imagined a future without him. No Sunday pancakes. No quiet breathing beside me at night. No notes on the fridge. Only silence. And suddenly, I was terrified. I raced home, heart pounding, desperate to reverse time. Maybe we could fix it. Maybe this was just confusion, not destruction. Grant's car was already there. He stood near the garage, arms folded, suitcase still untouched in the trunk. He looked exhausted. I opened my mouth to explain, to beg, but before I could speak, he said quietly, "I know." 2 words. Nothing else. He didn't yell. He didn't demand details. He looked at me like someone who had already grieved. "How long?" he asked. "A few months," I whispered. He nodded once. Was it worth it? The answer crushed me because it was simple. No, it wasn't. I thought I wanted excitement. Something new. Instead, I traded something real for something hollow. I lost someone who chose me every single day. "I don't know what I want," I said. He smiled, a small broken smile, and walked back to his car. He didn't even take the suitcase. He just drove away. That's when I finally cried. Not because he left, but because I let him. Because I destroyed something I didn't realize I still needed. In the weeks that followed, we spoke only about necessities. Bills. Mail. Logistics. Derek kept reaching out, but every message felt wrong. I ended it with him. He didn't argue. He just walked away like none of it mattered. It took months to face what I'd done. Therapy. Regret. Guilt. I never asked Grant to come back. I didn't feel worthy of that question. Almost a year later, he knocked on my door. He looked steadier. Grounded. He handed me an envelope filled with old photos. Beach trips, camping, weddings, laughter frozen in time. He'd found them while cleaning and couldn't throw them away. "I don't hate you," he said. "I just needed peace." "I'm glad you found it," I whispered. "So am I." As he turned to leave, I saw it, the version of us that might have survived. The life that could have been if I'd chosen differently. But I didn't. And maybe that's the true cost of betrayal. You don't just lose love, you lose the right to ever reclaim it. Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers.